So what are you going to do about that?
Well, I doubt that we can get the money that was taken away from us.
But at least for the future.
Yeah, but I think that we need to have a stronger voice in Sacramento to try to negotiate more money back from our property tax dollars. I agree with you absolutely. And I think that working together with our legislative delegation, I think we can at least make a stronger case. Remember though that you got Alameda County, which gets what, 58 cents on the dollar? And so if they give us more money, they're going to get less. So the folks who are getting a bigger chunk aren't going to be so willing to roll, and so that may be tough. I think long-term solution is about building our local economy. It's about creating good middle-class jobs. It's about bringing in more investment so we can build industry, green industry, life sciences, technology. You mentioned Ben Hueso. He represents the 8th District, that Otay area. It's ripe for the picking for creating good middle-class jobs for a 21st century economy. And then we've got an international airport right across the border, Rodriguez, which is ideal for dealing internationally and building a sustainable industry that creates the kind of jobs we need in San Diego so people can afford to live here.
But Ben's friends in Barrio Logan are trying to get rid of whatever little industry they have.
Yeah, well, I know you've got interest there in Barrio Logan too. I got to tell you, Ben's not a bad guy.
I know, but
everybody makes votes that aren't going to be popular with everybody.
But Donna, I trust.
Donna's terrific. I mean, she does her homework, she cares, and she's the lone wolf so often. But what we need is a coalition on that council. We need to be able to count to 5 and 6 to get things done, instead of this continual, tied vote and all of the arguing. We've got to be a team resolved to taking this city to a stronger, more prosperous future. That's what we need to do. And I'm hoping that we're going to have the votes on the council to do it. I talked with, my last appointment yesterday was with the mayor, sitting down with him in his office and talking about what we've done together for 20 years, he and I, and what we need to start doing together to serve the people of this community better and to fix the economic problems we've got. And it's not going to happen with cutting the budget every 6 months. That's just going to dig us a deeper hole, I think. What we need to do is find ways of generating new revenues and of building the economy, bringing investments in here, and working hard to prove to the rest of the world that San Diego means business and we're open for business. I think that's our solution long term. So we got to protect the businesses we have, especially small businesses, which still are the largest employer, and then find ways of bringing in investments and creating industries that are going to employ people. We can piggyback with universities and create jobs for these young people coming out, and train people up so they'll have a good middle class job their entire life. We have an obligation to have a longer term vision, and it may be painful up front, but we're going to have to do it. And when I say generating new revenues, the city hasn't reviewed its fee structure in 20 years. So what we're doing is providing services and losing money in the process. It's not all about raising fees, it is about building in efficiencies. And if we can't do it efficiently within government, then we fund a private business and we partner with private industry and we get it done with an overhead that is reasonable, so that we can move ahead and really create security for workers. We've got to do it. And there may be more expensive fees for people who use particular services. So that's the cost of doing business. But whatever happens, it's got to be fair. We've got to think outside the box and consider every option available to us if we want to get through this crisis, the one that's coming in 6 months, and ultimately build that kind of economy that's going to sustain this region. And you know that as well as I do. You've got to get serious about it.
Marty, thank you.
Thank you. One more question, John.
I have a quick selfish question. We've been spoiled for 8 years with Jay Wilson in the Dapper's office. Have you made any decision about who is going to take his place in the Navajo area?
I think we have, yes. And he and Jay have been talking.
Okay.
So they're sharing ideas, and Jay's a terrific guy. And we really appreciate how he's working with us to help us make the transition that we made. And you'll know as soon as we decide. We're still kind of playing with the different areas, and we want to make sure we got a good match. The person who I believe is going to be there is also a mature man who's had a couple of careers. He's a lawyer. He ran the apprenticeship program for the Teamsters. He's been a community organizer. He's a terrific guy. He's got a lot of depth and maturity, and he loves the community. And we're thinking that he's going to be that, representing that area, but we also have a position that's sitting there open. I'm not hiring a PR person like everybody else does. I think I can write my own business. And so we're holding a position open, and we may actually put another person on the ground to split up the area so that you can have more hands-on with your representative. Okay. But as soon as we have that decided, we'll let you know. And again, community groups, please respond with your wish list, because I really do want to come in armed with your priorities when we start talking about what we're going to cut and how much, okay? And thanks for having me. Happy holidays. 236-6677.
Pardon me for
No worries. 236-6677. Thank you again.
Thanks, guys.
Say hi to Mike for us.
I will. He's asleep in the car, as usual.
And we'll go to item number 2, which is a report of some things that we've been doing for the past month. And one of which is we gave a presentation to my daughter's school, which is the School of Connections, or School of Science, Connections, and Technology at Kearney High School. And their 11th grade class, their, I think, year-long project, right? Is this their big project that they're doing? Okay. Their project is to form their own companies or corporations that solve environmental problems. And so they were looking for groups or businesses for whom they could solve an environmental problem. So we presented the Grantville Action Group as one of their problems. Grantville redevelopment is one of their problems. And their goal is to use one of the environmental, or maybe multiple environmental impacts of Grantville redevelopment to derail the project. So we will be hearing from 11th graders on this issue probably in the springtime, and we'll find out what they have to say. And we already know that at least 2 of the teachers there are very excited about this because there are so many environmental impacts of Grantville redevelopment. Now, which brings us to one of them, which was brought up at the recent Grantville Stakeholders Committee meeting, and this was the San Diego River and Grantville redevelopment in relation to the River Park Master Plan. Coincidentally, the planner for the River Park Master Plan is the same planner for the Grantville Master Plan. She gave a presentation on the River Park Master Plan wherein she said that within 400 feet of the river on either side, the River Park Master Plan pretty much is going to dictate the land uses, and it's going to dictate that they have lighter land uses than generally what these developers want in Grantville. She made the statement that given that, and given the traffic in Grantville, redevelopment may not be possible. So that's her words, not mine.
Was that Robin Show?
It was Claudia Tedford, I believe.
Because I've been to the last 2 of those meetings, and this is the map that they've issued. I mean, it's tentative, but it shows other areas, to be in the red.
Well, and you can go to the website.
Because there's a lot of height restrictions.
There's height and density restrictions, and the closer you get to the river, the less you can build. And interestingly, Fenton's property is right up against the river.